Greetings people, Jameson here once again, and today I'm going to make a video of my Huber thrashing machine. This is a 1930s, well late 1930s to early 1940s Huber Rotorack model 28/46. I know what model it is because it's right here. 28/46. I got this back in 2008. Winter of 2008 to be precise. So I've had it for 4 years now. Haven't really got to touch it yet, but that's because I got too many other projects going on. I did have a video up of this before, but it was so blurry and crappy you couldn't see anything. So I thought I'd make another one now that you can see. Made in Marion, Ohio, and it came complete. There's a few things wrong with it that I gotta fix, but that's no big deal. I'm not afraid to do it. Plus, now that I'm a welder, it'll be even easier. And I know how to do all the processes as well, so it's a win-win situation. Okay, so I'll explain what's wrong with it, and then I'll walk around it. And then this video will be over. But I plan to put up another one that's called Huber Thrashing Machine 2. And I'll get up on top and show you the insides and all that good stuff and explain the process, or how I think the process is done, of how everything goes through here. And yeah, but okay, first thing that's wrong with it. This bracket that holds on this pulley that runs the fan that all the straw dumps onto, that blows out that chute, well, it's cracked right here. And so that's preventing this pulley from turning. If you can see, this bolt right here is supposed to be down here. And like I said, it's preventing it from turning. So what I'm going to have to do is take this whole bracket off and weld it back together and put it back on. Which I plan to make a video of because it's going to be an interesting process, because this is cast iron. And if any of you know, cast iron's rule, to weld it you got to preheat it, and then you got to weld it, and then you got to make sure it cools down slowly. If you cool it down too fast, or quench it or anything like that, it'll break. Alright, first thing wrong, right there. Second thing, my Rotorack, or whatever you want to call this elevator. All the wood in it is shot. There's nothing except this chain. That's because when it was brand new, it had wooden boards on the top and the bottom, and this sheet metal was just nailed to the boards. So I gotta replace all the wood in it, and I also gotta replace these wooden planks, because this part carried, I don't know what it is, but some of you who have thrashed and worked with these before, feel free to tell me what this piece actually does. From here up to there. It's like it carries something out of the main area and then it goes back up for a second thrashing. And I can't understand what's the purpose of it. Just to make sure you get more yield or what? So feel free to tell me what that's for. But as I was saying, there was all these wooden planks, and like right here, and right, ooh, camera stuck. There we go. Like right here, they're gone. So I've got to replace those. I'll probably end up replacing all this wood, because if you cannot tell, it's basically rotten. So that's the second problem. I'll have to take that all off and redo it. Again, I'll make a video of it when it happens, because it is a pretty interesting process to restore something like this. And that's one of the things I plan to start doing, is get more videos of actual restore processes, because people just don't understand how much work it takes to bring something like this back. But, okay, second problem, that elevator. Third problem. Well, some of these pulleys, I guess I could call it the third problem, because some of these pulleys are stuck. And then well, that one's free, but it's not turning the main thing. That one's free. Some of them are stuck and some of them aren't. But the solution to that is good old PV. Just soak it in that and there you go. That stuff works wonders. PV Blaster. Screw WD-40. Get that stuff. But what did I say? That was a problem. So fourth problem then is the conveyor that is in this trough that takes the wheat into the main thrashing unit. So I feed it into that mouth. Well, it's not. That's what I'm calling it. But all this is shot, and then I gotta replace the wood, because see, if this was working, they'd be flat on this trough, and then this piece comes out, and it folds out, and then it lays there, so then you throw your wheat bundles into that trough, and they carry into the machine. But you need this conveyor. That's the whole secret behind moving those bundles into the thrashing machine, is that conveyor. So I gotta redo that. And then again, just some minor work here and there. See, that one's broke legitly, so plan to replace all that. These pulleys need to be replaced because they were wooden, and of course this thing's like 60 years old, so all the wood is rotted away. But it sat outside probably for God knows how long. I've never had inside, so that doesn't help. Alright, fifth thing is this auger. First of all, it's supposed to be up there. It's off right now. It's supposed to be right up there. But the main problem on this thing is that, look how rusted through it is. That's supposed to be all solid metal. But like I said, I plan to either make a new one. Well, I don't know. This looks like galvanized metal, and you can't really weld on galvanized. There's a risk of getting zinc poisoning. So I don't know. I might just do the measurements and make another one. It can't be. It's not that hard. I mean, the hardest part is making all the measurements correctly. You weld it. You can weld it up. I mean, if you had a torch and a TIG welder, you can get some sheet metal and make it to the correct size and weld it together, and there you go. It looks just like the original. So I like this old stuff. It was simple. Okay, so that's your fifth problem, I think it was. And then on to the sixth problem is this elevator. This whole area down here is all busted apart, and that's supposed to be shot. That's rusted all out. So I'll probably have to take off the elevator and go through it all. Again, when I get up on top, you can see that you can actually measure out how much grain this thing puts out by tenths and hundreds. I'll show you when I get up there. Again, that will be in Thrashing Machine Movie 2. Okay, and the next problem is that my shaker pan, or whatever you call it, I call it the shaker pan because it shook around. Shook all the grain that was thrashed over the elevator, and then it would carry it up there, and it would be put in the wagon, but that's all rotted out. It was wood to begin with, and of course, over the years, all the wood's gone. So, I gotta make a new box, and then put that under there, and that's not gonna be that hard, though. It's just a box. Alright, so that's it for the problems. Oh, I see there's some rust up there on the, I just noticed that there's some rust up there on the main shaft, so I'll have to do patchwork to that too. Alright, well, I see it's about 12 minutes, so we'll end this video. Again, this is a early 1940s to late 1930s Huber thrashing machine, Rotorac model 2846, bought in winter of 2008. Well, thanks for watching, and this will be continued on video number 2. So, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.